Welcome back to another episode of the Holistic Cannabis Show, where I am your hostess, Dr. Yolanda Henderson, and always joined by my wonderful co-host and husband,
Hen Henderson.
Hen Henderson. That's what you are today? You ain't nobody else, right?
No, but my shirt is tight, though.
Uh-huh.
Look at that.
Black is more than a color. It is. It is.
So I know that today.
That's it. Well, we know that. And we also know that there is a lot of things going on in the cannabis space. So we have to be all 100 and we have to let y'all know what's going on. We're the voice, we're the ears, we're the eyes of the cannabis industry, thus being the Holistic Cannabis Show. And so we want to give you all a great show today. And we're going to talk about politics and cannabis. Okay. So there's so much going on in the political realm with cannabis that, God's plant don't deserve to go through all of this, but we're going to talk about it today. So kick back, relax, enjoy the show, because we have a lot to talk about. And first, I want to honor all of the July birthdays. So if you had a July birthday and you want to call the show, Mr. Henderson is going to give you the outlets to watch the show. What are they?
470-251-4647 is the telephone number if you want to call in with your birthday. Happy birthday to my brother.
Yes, happy birthday, Mr. Dwayne.
All right. Happy birthday to Adrian McQuarter. He also got a birthday today. What's up, JoJo?
Yes, and a shout out to my friend-in-law. She's just a wonderful woman. We just celebrated with her today at this wonderful Red Pepper restaurant, and she is amazing. So happy birthday, Valerie, and we hope you had a wonderful day. Yes, happy birthday.
You can watch the show at statusnetwork.net. Go to your computer browser, type that in there. If you're on Instagram, you can manifesttv.status. You're on Facebook, you can Status Network LLC. On Periscope, Twitter, status_network_, Amazon, Roku. You're going to Status Network, Manifest TV, Holistic Cannabis Show. YouTube, Manifest TV, look for the Holistic Cannabis Show.
That's right. So we're always glad that you all will join us on our show on every Sunday from 5 to 6. So we do have this awesome video talking about the politics of cannabis and how we're moving forward with the COA, that is the Cannabis Opportunity, and it's a wonderful act, okay? And so Senate, if y'all don't know, is the one who introduced this law, and we're wanting to find out what the opinions are of all of those who are voting for this. Okay, so let's watch this quick video and we'll be right back.
Well, Senate Democrats introduced a bill last week that would legalize cannabis at the federal level. The bill would ultimately allow states to enact their own marijuana laws. So how do Tennessee lawmakers feel about it? State Capitol reporter Chris O'Brien reached out to a few representatives around our state to find out.
Marijuana continues to be a hot topic in Tennessee. And last week in Washington, D.C., U.S. Senate Democrats introduced new legislation to end the federal ban on marijuana.
I think it's great. I mean, cannabis legalization is not a matter of when, not a matter of if, but when.
Supporters of the new bill include Tennessee State Senator Heidi Campbell.
It's just not the boogeyman that it was, set up to be when it was made illegal. And really what this is it ends up being a tax on the poor and people of color.
The Cannabis Administration and Opportunity Act would kick the issue of marijuana to the state level, leaving each state to set its own laws. Now in Tennessee, lawmakers have balked at the idea of recreational marijuana. One of those is Senator Becky Massey, who supports medical cannabis but not recreational.
Oftentimes, some of the states that first did medical cannabis, basically it was more or less a ruse, just kind of a facade for recreational marijuana.
Massey has several family members who she says could have benefited from medical marijuana prior to their deaths.
The medical cannabis wouldn't have cured them, but if it had helped ease their transition.
But she says recreational is a step too far, calling marijuana a gateway drug.
We have major drug problems as it is. And we got so many people overdosing, and it typically is, for recreational purpose, it does tend to be a gateway drug.
An MTSU poll from 2018 says more than 80% of Tennesseans support at least medical marijuana. In Nashville, Chris O'Brien.
Now, for this bill to pass at the federal level, Senator Schumer would need every Democrat and at least 10 Republicans.
Man,
All right.
But look,
That's
though.
something that I didn't like. I didn't agree with. But we're going to talk about that.
Yep. Well, you know, they always have a trigger word in there every time they say that it's a gateway drug, right? That's always a trigger word so that you know that these people are against it. And unfortunately, that propaganda is still alive. So every time you hear that word gateway drug, it's really just propaganda being spewed. But then you have to consider, too, who is using that word. You see what I'm saying? You have to consider that, too.
Right.
You know, she says, oh, yeah, I'm for medical, but not for recreational. And maybe she's saying that from the standpoint of if you doing marijuana, you're going to want to try some other drugs. But that's not true, because I know plenty of crackheads that don't smoke weed.
They don't. They won't.
You know what I'm saying? They just won't.
Because
it'll bring them down.
Right,
it'll
bring them down.
People who on speed, you see what I'm saying?
Cannabis
they not
brings
smoke
them
weed.
down.
You see what I'm saying? Because cannabis brings them down. It calms them down.
Yep.
It impacts the way that they want to get high. For a person who's an alcoholic or who drinks all the time, you know, alcohol is already a depressant. So they might indulge a little bit more in cannabis than somebody who does meth or something like that, which those are what the problems are in Tennessee. It ain't even the weed. It's the meth.
It's the meth.
It's the ice. That's what's the problem. The fentanyl. That's what's the problem. But guess what? They ain't got a handle on it either.
So sad. So sad. So sad, y'all.
Trash.
It's trash. And y'all heard it from Mr. Henderson. He almost stole the words out of my mouth because I was about to say how medically it's impossible for you to want to do something as strenuous as the other drugs, and being a gateway, you're not going to want to take and indulge, because actually in scientific studies there has been proven that you can use cannabis as a detoxification from the other drugs. So it's actually can be used at any of the detox locations to help you wean off of the other drugs. And that's why I'm kind of appalled at all of these comments. And if you're not educated, please don't speak on something that you don't know about. And so those are my words. That's my advice to everything and to all situations. If you've never indulged or you never did anything, please don't speak on it until it's you and you know what it does for your body and how it works properly. Because there's too many people who are going out and they're getting the alternatives. They're not getting the real cannabis. They're getting the pharmaceutical cannabis, or they're getting the cannabis that's laced with other things, and then they're saying that this is what's making them not enjoy cannabis, when you really need a medical cannabis health coach. And we have those, and we're educating those type of individuals in our classes every Saturday, y'all. Every Saturday we have a class at the Atlanta, Georgia Academy of Cannabis Science, and now in alliance with the Gift of Life Community Home, which is our nonprofit organization that is helping people who do not know and do not understand. All right, so if you want to come out and you can't come out, we will come to you. We have courses that are available live and in remote training. You can do it from your phone, you can do it from your computer, you can do it from your laptop, however, and you can get the education that is going to make you able to speak on the cannabis topics, you know, and being educated is all the best way to be able to speak on it, and going live in front of people, millions of people actually, and then, you know, we all make mistakes, but we want to make sure we get it right.
Yeah, she messed that up.
She messed that up. All right, so the Gift of Life Community Home is our wellness center where I'm your doctor, and we have a membership where you can join as low as $10 a month. I'm also going to be speaking at the Women Who Can coming up next Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you're in the area, the DoubleTree at Atlanta Perimeter. All right, come out, show your support, and it's free registration, and the tickets are available at womenwhocannabis.org. Okay, so don't forget to get your tickets. We had a wonderful time yesterday, and I want to shout out all of those who made this happen. Mr. James Jones with SUT, his organization put this back to school rally together, and we had a great time. It was hot, right, Mr. Henderson?
Yeah,
it was hot, but we got a lot of students signed up to work we're hiring. So that's the main thing, is hiring in the community and being able to help those. So we have another student who graduated, and she says, guess what, and this is the first day of work in her 12 years, and she is so nervous because she's excited and she's training in Savannah, and she shouted me out, y'all, on Facebook for teaching her and believing in her, especially for all the encouragement and making her dreams come true. She's actually now going to be a supervisor and working as a medical cannabis health coach in a CBD shops all over the Georgia area. So we're just excited for her. All right, and then we have Mr. Terrence Dunbar Bay, who is along with the NFL alumni ambassador, is a community project developer, a nonprofit business consultant. So if you have a nonprofit, hit him up, okay? Project money lender, motivational speaker, TCU alumni, and a former Atlanta Falcon, among other football teams. Okay, so we're really trying to get him with other organizations who want a joint venture, and he's the one who was responsible for helping us out with the workforce. All right, so Natural to Life is really a really big event coming up. Back to Learning edition, 3 events under one roof. So you have your fashion, your hair, and your talent competition, which Big Shot Entertainment with Mr. Henderson and NTH Credit are sponsors, along with Atlanta Academy of Cannabis Science, CMOS, Ocean's Best, the Holistic Society, and of course us, and amongst others who have not signed up yet. If you're wanting to sign up to be a sponsor or to show some support, donate some school supplies, we're looking for you on August the 13th. All right, so now we have the adults only karaoke and casino night, which is going to be A100. Is the donations and proceeds go to youth who need scholarships and back to school funds. So we're just asking y'all to come out on Saturdays. Let's have a good time. Let's have fun. All right, and again, this was the community compilation back to school bash that was this past Saturday, yesterday, and it was amazing. I showed those photos earlier, and there was a lot of supporters, a lot of communities coming together, which we want to shout them out. Mr. Andre, Mr. James Jones for having this event. There was music, food, there was book bag giveaways, and school supplies. So if you missed out, don't forget we're having one August the 13th. And we know that's a little bit after school starts, but we want to make sure that all students get what they need to be successful. And I gave out, of course, your supplements, your vitamins and minerals. All right, today, our White Mansion party, it was postponed from yesterday to today because of the weather. So if you all are interested in coming out to my girl, Demi Nicole, come on out. It's $50 for a band that includes food and drinks. Then there's $40, which we passed that early bird special. There's $30 entry fee. So if you don't have no food or no drinks is included in that one. But it's an open bar, 360 booth, food and liquor provided by the chef. So y'all come on out. It's in Stone Mountain, Georgia. All right. All right. So we want to talk about Mr. Henderson and NTH Credit and how everything is impacting your score.
Okay, this segment right here is brought to you by nthcredit.net. Look us up, nthcredit@gmail.com. And today we're talking about score ranges and their impacts on the score. All right, real quick, real brief, everybody know the lowest that a score can be is 300, and that's very poor, and the highest it can be as high as 850. You may need to pay a fee or a deposit or not be approved for credit at all. But there are other outlets in order to obtain credit to begin to work on the credit, right? Usually when the scores is down here, it's usually due to some issues with collection accounts, late payments, the number of inquiries, or no credit profile at all. Right. All right, from 580 to 669, you're fair. But you would be a subprime borrower, right, for the most part, which means that you'll pay a higher deposit, you'll pay a higher down payment, and your interest will be higher too. But the good part is that after a couple of years of paying for it every month, you can then go back and refinance whatever the loan is to get a cheaper rate, right? Okay. All right, 670 to 739, you're in a good range. 8% of these applicants are likely to be seriously delinquent, right? They have a good profile, they have a good mix, right? And y'all see that the highest number, even in good, is over 700. It is. So a lot of people think that when they get to 700, their credit is good, everything is fine and dandy, but you still are considered somewhat of a risk.
I know. I'm still trying to get in that yellow. So, you know, I
want to
don't
be
think
in
I
the green.
ever been in the yellow. I want to get to the green, but I don't.
The yellow is
It's
good.
hard.
The yellow is good. Now let's talk about the last two. The last two are the greens. All right. The green one, 740 to 799, is very good. You're likely to receive better than average rate from lenders. Okay, so you'll have more people that's trying to get with you. Right, your interest rate is low. You'll have zero down on everything that you're trying to apply for, and the likelihood of getting credit cards, business credit, business funding, and everything like that. Buying a house, you're likely to get a good rate.
Right.
However, 800 to 850, there's no income verification loans, zero down payment, zero interest for a year or two, depending on what the situation is that you're applying for.
Oh, wow.
All right, so I always coach people never to just stop for 700. I get a lot of people who come to me and say, hey, I just want to get my credit score to 700. Well, in today's time, in post-COVID economics, a 700 to a 739 is really no longer the cream of the crop.
Right.
Pre-COVID, if you had a 739, then you took advantage of everything else from that score side on over to the 850.
Yes.
However, now because of COVID, that's not the situation anymore. So I'm coaching people to go past 800, right? There are things that you can do. You know, sometimes you have to give it a little bit of time, but eventually it'll get to that 850 with the right mix, with the right stuff that we talk about on our Zoom class every Wednesday that you got for free. www.nchcredit.net.
All right. So I just want to say this. I want to shout out all the birthdays, and I did already. But I want to say it is important for you all to share our show, okay? So we know that cannabis is about to break through, is about to come through this big old hole, right? They're trying to legalize this federal, and we want to let everyone know that we've been doing this for the past 3 years. This is like our third year consecutively for having the show, the Holistic Cannabis Show, and we've been forerunners, and we've been on the brinks of everything cannabis. So if y'all could share our show and let others know that, hey, these African Americans, this couple has been advocating for cannabis in the state of Georgia for the past 3 years, that will help us out. That will boost our show. That will also boost our ratings and the show's ratings, as well as have our school promoted, as well as our family promoted, because they're the ones who benefit. You know, we are and have a family. So your support and your help goes a long way, and we appreciate you if you already do. And I just wanted to say that because it's real. It's
Watch the show. You're gonna learn something.
You're gonna learn. Exactly.
I talk to that talk about how they don't know what to do for their credit.
Yes.
But
yes.
every week I'm giving you the scoop.
Yeah.
Every week.
Yes, that's right. All right, so we have some more information, some news that we can use before we get going for today. We'll show those. All right, so the feds report significant year-over-year decline in marijuana seizures at the U.S. border. So the year-over-year decline in marijuana-related seizures is in stark contrast to more generalized data showing a 25% increase in overall drug-related seizures at the U.S. international border. All right, so that's a good thing.
Because they get careless with how they ship it.
All right, so study. There's the legalization of retail cannabis sales not linked to any increasing youth use. Investigators report for those aged 12 to 20 years old, the study estimates support the hypothesis that RCL's recreational cannabis laws did not affect the occurrences of newly incident cannabis use for underage persons. All right. And in the latest news, House members advance fast-track legislation to amend cannabis research rules. All right, do y'all know what that means? We need to go ahead and get that research done because other states are actually taking on the research, all right, or the countries. Missouri, an unofficial count finds legalization measures shy of signatures. And then federal lawmakers fast-track legislation that seeks to facilitate cannabis research. All right, and then Senate leadership introduces the legislation to end federal marijuana prohibition. And we know that that's the COA. All right, so there's another analysis that labels often inaccurate for hemp-derived CBD topical products. Of the 89 products that provided information regarding the percentage of CBD available in them, only 24% provided accurate data. All right, and then the action alerts. Federal, support the Cannabis Administration and Opportunity Act, the COA. And then we want to urge senators to support safe banking and veteran medical cannabis protections in NDAA. And then we want to tell President Biden to follow through on your commitment to expunge marijuana records. We still haven't seen a lot of them. We have a little bit. And then there's a CBD extract shows that antibacterial activity against salmonella in preclinical models. All right. So yes, salmonella and CBD. Authors concluded discovery and development of novel antibacterial agents such as CBD is a major step towards the future of therapeutics in a world where antibiotics are no longer efficacious and cost effective. All right.
Feed it to the animals, man. Feed it to the animals.
Yeah.
Feed it to the animals.
Yeah, there's a lot that cannabis does. I teach all of that information. I love the science part of it because, of course, when you get science, you get the education from the in-depth realm of cannabis, okay? So the molecular structure, what it's made of, what it actually does to the receptors in the body. And I give you a crash course so you will know it. It's so easy. My daughter, who is 11 years old, knows how to talk about it. She has a book out about the endocannabinoid system. So I know if she can learn it, then anybody can learn it, and I make it fun. All right. Well, we got a quick video, and we want to go ahead and show this quick video before we leave the show. And this is our strain of the day.
Company just launched here in the Valley, and it could completely change the property management business. How Home 365 benefits both landlords and tenants. A tech-savvy company called Home 365 is hoping to disrupt the property management business by saving landlords and tenants time and money. The founder and CEO says they use about 40 different data points for each house, including things like its size, age, and type of tenants to help predict what might happen to it in the future.
This allows us to price everything in a one flat rate instead of what's really going on today in the industry, where all of those expenses are not predictable for the property owner, and there is a lot of risk, which makes their more.
All right.
Home 365.
That's a good.
And man, that might just make the rental market a little bit more competitive, right? Because with Home 365, as a property owner, you're able to see predictions and analysis of how the home condition will be while you're renting it, if you're Airbnb in it.
Right.
You know?
All right. So you already know we got a lot going on. So a lot in in the news, in the media, in cannabis, in home, and especially in states that's going through. We want to say a shout out and a prayer for Missouri, who's actually underwater. They're flooded right now. We're praying for the survivors and victims of the water damage, and we just hope and pray that this will to pass as soon as possible. And if you want to
growing some hemp out there now, Kentucky.
All right, and if you want to, donate, if you have anyone that you want to make a donation to, we are joint partners with other nonprofits there in Missouri and St. Louis. So we want to send them over as much as we can to show them that we love them and we care about them. Please cash out $ the gift of life or TGOLCH donate. All right, so that's TCGLOH donate, or YONORM $YONORM, and you can make a donation to our nonprofits to where you can help anyone in St. Louis area and other states that are impacted by the floods right now. All right, Mr. Henderson, what you got to add?
What you got on my 40, homie?
All right, what you got on his 40? All right. So in other news, we are still hiring ages 16 to 24. We also want to shout out our business partners, Mrs. Joy from Joy's Pottery. We have her photo. And then, because she's a wonderful partner, if you need or want to become a partner, please do so by contacting us at the Gift of Life Community Home. It's our nonprofit. We're still having the Natural to Life Back to School event. Again, if you want to sponsor or become a vendor, you know how to reach us. And what is the number to reach us again, Mr. Henderson?
470-251-4647. If you're going to call and say that you want to get out on the show. If not, it's 888-959-2093.
There you go. So that's outside of of the show is the 1-888 number. All right. So
It's almost football time.
it's almost football time.
TV is
Who's
about
ready?
to get interesting again. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, it is almost
sir.
football season.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
It's almost football time.
Who's your favorite team, Mr. Henderson?
My favorite team is
Yeah.
always the Packers. My favorite team is the Packers.
Okay.
But a team to watch is definitely going to be the New England Patriots.
A team to watch.
Watch number
Why is
14.
that? Watch number 14.
Watch number 14
Okay, why is that?
because number 14 is a really great player.
Okay, really, we want really big rings because we really big team, and we waiting. We gonna be watching. All right, shouts out to the family. Shouts out to everyone who took the time to watch our show or to our replay. And again, Miss Rosa, I want to wish you a very, very happy birthday. You like my grandmother. You're just the sweetest person in the whole wide world, and I hope you had a great week. And I will be by to see you. And to my grandmother, my own grandmother, who's about to celebrate a birthday, and as she rests in her soul in peace. It's Leo season. Let's go, Lions.
Rest in peace, Betty McQuarter.
Yes, rest in peace for those that are leaving and getting out of here, making room for the new generation. All right, and again, Mr. Henderson, thanks for joining me today. If you have anything else, would you want to have anything else to say about your credit?
Go vote.
We gotta vote. We do.
All
We
right,
gotta vote.
go vote. It don't matter if you vote for Kemp. It don't matter if you vote for Stacey Abrams. Just go vote.
All right. All right. Well, we thank you for watching the show, and until next week, same time and same place.
Google Fi, a phone plan by Google. Fi has unlimited plans that fit your data usage.